Hello, and I'd like to show you a reasonably easy way to play around with your child theme. Now, I do apologize, this is not the easiest way of doing it, but there are some advantages in this method which I will show you. So first of all, you need a website, and here's one I prepared earlier. It's got the 2016 parent theme installed, and it has activated the 2016 child theme, which I created, which you can pull off the website, which is a simple child theme that does absolutely nothing as its default. It is active, as you can see, and if you recognize 2016 theme and the default code, there is no change to it whatsoever yet. So what I want to use this for is to show you how easy it is to play around with a theme using the 2016 child. So what I'd like to do first of all is I'd like to change the background to black. It's not a very practical suggestion considering what we've got on the screen, but I just want to show you how it all works. So what I have installed is an FTP program. This is the filezilla FTP program, which you can download. Link will be on the web page, and it's a nice, easy to use, free FTP program. And what you'll need to do is to set up, as I have here, set up the settings for the FTP connection to your website. Don't bother trying to do my settings and get into my site. It won't work, because this is a local server only available on my network, doesn't connect anywhere else, which is why I'm able to have a username of 2016 and a password of nothing. You will not have that. You'll have a nice long username and hopefully a nice long complicated password. You might even, and if you can have it, I suggest you do, have an SFTP connection from your host provider. It is more secure, more difficult for people to read what's going on. But either way, the method is the same. Put in your settings for your file transfer protocol and connect, or previous connection, why not? And this brings me to my WordPress site. So what I want to do now is I want to find the WP content themes, and there's my 2016 theme, and there's my 2016 child theme. 2016 child theme we want to play with. Now I also have installed my code editor, my IDE code editor, which again is shown on the website, and I have associated that with Windows. So when I right click and I say I want to edit the content of this file, it's downloaded and put straight into my NetBeans editor for me. Impressed? Well, I'm impressed, because when everything Windows 10 does works first time, I'm always impressed. So this is my child theme. You can see that actually I've got some local copies of it, but this is the child theme, comes straight off the website. And I'm going to add a style command to this. Now the reason I'm using this NetBeans editor, and the reason I'm suggesting you do, is because it will do some error correction for you, and it will give you an idea when you type rubbish that doesn't work, which is much easier for you to then correct. So I'm going to use the background command, and I've got an error because I'm talking absolute rubbish, you see. That's what you'll get when you talk absolute rubbish, and it will try and tell you what's going on and correct you. What I actually want to do is I want to change the body part of the site. Put my open and close brackets, you see the little error message goes away, and I want to set that with a background. This is nice, you see, because it's pulling up all the commands for me. I want a background color of #000, which is black. Now all I need to do now is file save. Well, I can do Control S, which does the same thing. And if I flip over to FileZilla, FileZilla has realized I've done something and says, do you want me to send this back to the child theme? And do you want me to delete the copy? Well, I don't want the copy deleted because we're going to use it again. But yes, I'd like it sent back. That's now been sent back. You might have noticed in the top left here, it's just sent that file back. So if I go back to the site and refresh the site, I will find that absolutely nothing has happened. Well, that's not true. Something has happened. I've just set the background to black. Problem is, there are other commands in here which are overriding what I've just done. So we need to understand how the theme is working. Now, that doesn't mean we have to pull the whole lot apart. We can use a very nice trick. This is Firefox. It does work in Chrome, but I actually prefer the Firefox version. I go over this title here, Hello World. I right click and I choose Inspect Element. Firefox, other browsers will do something similar. You can see that I have now opened up this code window. And when I move my cursor over this code window, you can see different things are highlighting. The things that are highlighting are the things that I am actually having control over. That's the content area. That's the H2 class entry title there. And on the right hand side, if I move it around, you might notice on the right hand side there's loads of code appearing. Now that code appearing is the CSS code specific to the element that I'm highlighting. So we're on F2 class entry title, and on the right hand side are the element controls that are pertaining to that. And they will be in order, so the higher up they are, the more important they are. And you can see the source of a particular element and then the code in it and the source of it. And if it's got a line through it, that means it's been overwritten by something else having priority over it. Okay. And there's a specific entry there for entry title in the standard style.css file. So that'll be the parent style. You can see there it says themes 2016 style. So that's the parent theme entry style command there, setting the font family, font size, etc. A lot of it being overwritten by other code. So I'm going to highlight this button here, and that will show me where that .entry title is used around the site. And you can see it's used on that heading, which is what I expected. That yellow area means that there's a boundary, a border, padding area, so to speak, of quite a long way actually below. That's giving the gap that's holding the rest of the text away from the heading. But I want to use this entry title. I'm going to copy. And I'm going to change the background color of that. So what I'll do is I'll go back to my file editor and I'll say, can I edit again, please? And it'll say, do you want me to reopen the local file? Because I've already copied it for you. See, this FileZilla is jolly clever. And it says yes. I says yes. And it hands me back to the NetBeans editor. So if I take that element now, which is .entry title because it's a class, and I change the background color to red, like that. Control S to save. Go back to my FileZilla. It says, do you want me to send it back? I say yes, please. Go back to my website and hit F5, and this time it works. Now, not only does it work, but you see we have entry title still highlighted. It's in red. If we go and have a look on the right hand side, you can now see a new entry has been made here. Entry title, as marked there, is in star.css15. If I mouse over that, you can see it's referring to themes my 2016 child theme. So it's confirming that it's taking the style command from my child theme and giving a background color. And because it's at the top, and because we've already made sure that style sheet is executed after the parent style sheet, it has priority. We now have control, and we're able to restyle anything we like on this site. So in a very quick and easy way, that is how you can restyle almost anything. You can take any element out of here and restyle it. So let me pause the video for a moment, have a think, and I'll come up with something which is a little bit more devious. Okay, Our WP Business Club website is actually based on a child theme on the 2016 theme. I've just been digging around in the styles to find something a little bit more neat, I think, to show how powerful this child theme styling can be. Now, one of the issues we had when we built our theme was that I like these black bars coming down between the widgets on the right hand side. I think it's a good way of separating out the sections. But what I didn't like was the one being at the top, because I felt that was not really required. I'd like the fact that it's empty at the bottom because it just flows into the below area. The top bar, on our top bar we actually have a box around here. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But this one at the top here, I wanted to get rid of. So if I right click in here and expect element, I can work my way up the tree of connections. And I want to be in here. So we've got a widget and a widget area and a widget search. And above that, we've got our widget area. So what we need to do is we need to find the command. There it is. Okay. So here's a widget command and it says border top. Now, one of the neat things you can do with this code editor is there's tick boxes against everything. You can actually deselect a style entry by just unticking the tick box, and then that will stop working within the section we're looking at. If you see, if I do that, I unselect that, so it goes away. You can see that I have actually correctly identified the style item. I was pretty sure it's right because I've done this before, but there's the widget and there's the border top. So that's the command that's creating that border. So what I want to do is I want to change that to being a border of no size. But the thing is, I don't want all the widgets to lose their line. I only want the first one to do. Now, when you start to get deeply into CSS styling, you can just find there's almost anything you can do. And there is a neat command called widget : first child. What that says is the first widget command, I want to have a border top of 0. All the other widgets can carry on, but the first child, I want to have a border top of 0 pixels. 0 pixels will obviously mean that it won't be seen. So I've probably now, yes, I've now got everything wrong because I should have done that first. Reopen local file, yes please. I'm only doing it this way so FileZilla knows. I'll change that file. FileZilla has realized. Do you want me to send that one back to server? Yes please. Go back to there. Just to show you it works. I'll close that down. Refresh. And it disappears. So there we are. We use the child of that first item to delete it. Let's put a box round up the top here. We want a box round up here. So the first thing we need to do is work out where it is. I think it's the site header. So what I want to do is I want to put a box around it. Now, I have a really good cheat to do my boxes for me. If I look for box style CSS generator, I get this one. So this allows me, this is really neat, this allows me to design a box. Anything I like. Get a bit silly now. Do outline, do inset, or outline. I don't like inset, but opacity, be careful of. Opacity is going to let colors from below go through. And you get the code in the middle. You can just copy text or like that. Copy text. And then we can take that to our editor. Now, this is the one that I use on our site. Slightly different. And you also notice that the area that I defined was actually wrong. I thought it was site header. It's not. That is actually the one we want to define, site header main. So if I do site header main with the commands that I have here, and now I need to pull FileZilla into thinking I've changed it. It's realized I've changed it. So yes, send it back. And then go back to our site and refresh. Should get a nice, there we are, get a nice box title. Now I see I've now got an issue that my heading needs moving over. You can see how I'm going to keep going on, adding little bits, tweaking things. This is not right anyhow because we put an image in there instead of a logo. I go to our website, you can see some of the things we've done. So we put a border in at the top. We've inserted this image using styles. You can see that bar is at the top of that one. It's not at the top of that one because we've taken that out. We put a border around the widget at the side, again done in styles. And we put this code up the top, but that's not with the style sheet. And we've also tweaked the way some of the menus look. So even that menu, rounded menu bit at the bottom was tweaked exactly the same way as I've just shown you using a style. Now we talked about the first child being the first item of the widgets to get the line across the top. We used the last child as an element to get this to appear at the bottom. Let me see if I can find it for you. Show you how it works. It'll be there. No, I can't find it. Let me just find the source to be quick. Oh, I found it here. So here's the command here. The navigation, excuse me, navigation, last child of the menu entry, and I've given it basically a rounded lower edge and straight radiuses for the top. That's how I got that style. On the menu. So, it's your turn now. Find something you want to change. Right click, inspect element, find out what it's called, whether you refer to it by a class or by its ID. You have to decide. You can see what's set already. You can remove commands already on there to see which one's having an effect. You can use the highlight the elements that are being referred to by a particular element change. And if you want to see if something works, you can use the element here and you can just overwrite everything. Like that. Just to see how it looks before you start. So, I wish you good luck and good hunting with your child theme designs. And if you want more help on understanding how CSS works, there are loads of fantastic resources on the internet to go and pick up ideas and see how it works. Thanks for watching.
For more info, visit WPBusinessClub.com.